Excuse me. This is CHSR 97.9 FM here in Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada, and you're listening to Python's Paradise, your film and music show. And this is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena. And folks, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Suspiria, a great film that was directed by Dario Argento. And I have the wonderful, treasured opportunity to talk to one of the cast members of Suspiria, the woman who played Sarah. I'm hoping I get your name right here. It's Stefania Casini?
Oh, no. Stefania Casini.
Oh, Stefania. My apologies.
I don't worry about it.
Yeah. Wow. You know, I would have been 5 years old when Suspiria was released in 1977. And it's a film I've come to enjoy tremendously over the years. And wow, like how, I know you've worked before that, but how did you come to get the part in Suspiria to play Sarah?
Well, at that time, I was kind of a celebrity in Italy. I have done many leading role with great directors. So, and Dario Argento was preparing Suspiria. Originally, the role was for Daria Nicolodi. At that time, I was his girlfriend. But I don't really know what is the gossip about, if she got sick or if they fight or something. The result was that my agent called me and said, would you do the screening for Suspiria? And I said, yes, why not? So I went there, I did the test. And then immediately Dario chose me. And then I went for 1 month, practically like 10 hours a day, rehearsing for dance. Because if you remember, I'm one of the dancer in a dancing school. So I had to be able to dance. And then, you know, that happens. Often in an actress' destiny, there is a luck. In this case, it was my luck to get the part.
Absolutely. Yeah, Daria Nicolodi, of course, was before Suspiria. She played, I thought, one of her best performances in a movie called Deep Red, also by Argento. She has those captivating eyelashes, those spellbinding eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah, you do see her for a brief second doing her little Hitchcock appearance in Suspiria as Jessica Harper's going out through the sliding doors there at the beginning there at the airport. You can see Daria Nicolodi walk out through, and I caught her when I first heard that she had done the cameo. I went and I looked for her, and I'm like, how could I miss those eyes?
You know that I never realized that?
No.
I didn't know.
Oh, she made a cameo?
Yeah, I didn't know at all.
Yeah, at the beginning when Jessica Harper's at the airport and she's heading out towards the cab and shows that beautiful close-up shot of the doors opening. I'd say, I can't remember right offhand. I think she might be ahead of Jessica. But you can see her. You could definitely see her when you know what you're looking for.
Oh, well, I must see the movie again.
Yeah, but she's walking out through the doors. I understand that there's a little bit of a true story element to this, where I guess Daria was, she was one of the people I believe wrote the screenplay. Am I correct on that?
Yes, you're right. They wrote the script together.
Okay.
Dario and Daria.
Yeah, Daria, I believe. Now, I might not get the details quite correct here, so I'm doing this as best I can. I believe her, I think it was her grandmother or great-grandmother, one of them was attending a dance school that was run by a coven of witches.
but I don't think so.
No?
Uh,
I read that somewhere. I read that somewhere.
oh well, I don't know. Maybe it's right. I doubt
Maybe.
it, but I doubt it, but maybe it's right. I mean, everything can be possible for this movie.
Well, I kind of look at it this way. Over the internet, you never know what's true or not. But I know that has came up more than once. So I don't want to spout any gossip, but I'm just going by what I've heard. But I do know that uh, Daria, of course, was involved with several movies with Argento, and of course, it's unfortunate she didn't star in it, but we did get you, and we won't give you away. We want you in the movie.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, you of course had that rather painful scene involving razor barbed wire.
Ooh, yes, I remember. It was really, really difficult because actually, Dario didn't tell me what was going to happen in the other room when I have to jump out from the little window. So when I was shooting, I was climbing on the wall, and then I get the little window, and I get inside, and I fall in this horrible. How do you call it in English? I don't remember.
Barbed
Barber
wire.
something.
Barbed
Okay,
wire.
exactly. And he kept telling me, move, move, move behind the camera. So I was trying to, to liberate myself from this gigantic iron around me, etc. And more that I move, and more that I got stuck. And so we shoot the scene only once. And at the end, I was like somebody pinched me in many, many places in my body. I was exhausted, but I liked that scene actually. I really liked that scene. And he was right not to tell me anything. So otherwise, I would never do it, you know.
Yeah, I look at that scene and I'm like, if that was me, I would probably try my best to compose myself and try to stand up carefully, because then you might be able to maneuver your way out. But your character, of course, was panicked and
Exactly.
yep. So when you're panicked and alarmed, well, you're not exactly thinking the best. And of course, that led to an unfortunate end for poor Sarah.
Exactly. And I was panicked myself because I couldn't see the end. And the camera still rolling, 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 and I was waiting for the stop. I never arrived at stop.
Yeah. Um, I was wondering before we continue more with Suspiria, like I know that you're a famous Italian actress and a film maker in Italy. I was just wondering if you could give us a little bit of your background.
Well, sure. Well, I'm graduated architect in Milano in the Polytechnical School. But that time I was already in the drama academy. So I come from the theater, basically. And then I went to Rome and I did many tests like all the younger actresses. And my first movie was a leading role with Pietro Germi, which is a famous Italian director. And then my career was very easy. I didn't have really. I have many opportunities, so I was acting, acting, and acting, and acting. And actually act with Paul Morrissey, which I like very much in Blood for Dracula.
Okay.
And then I act with Bernardo Bertolucci in 1900.
Mm-hmm.
I act which I was in a film with Ferreri. And then I went to France and I did many TV movie in France and one with Jean Seberg, a movie where there was Isabelle Huppert as her first appearance. Then, I was kind of a gypsy, so I like to travel a lot. And when the factory came down to Rome to do Blood for Dracula, then Jed Johnson asked me if I wanted to go to the United States and shot another movie with them that was Andy Warhol's Bad. So I was a little bit here in the theater, there in the States, and all of a sudden I was kind of tired of acting. So I decided to move behind the camera. And when I was in New York, I decided to live there. So I was doing a kind of reportage for Italian television from United States, because at that time I was a journalist as well.
Okay.
And so, and then I came back. Suspiria, of course, was one of the movies that I made. I worked with Peter Greenaway and the Ballet of an Architect, So I switched from there. So finally, when I definitely came back to Italy in the 82, I did my movie as a director with a friend of mine, Francesca Marciano, that we shot in New York, actually. And we went to the Venice Film Festival with this movie. And then I definitely decided to become a filmmaker and to drop a little bit my artistic career as an actress. And then so on. And I did documentary, basically. I did a couple of movies as a director, but basically I'm on the documentary because I truly prefer the reality than fiction.
Yeah.
That's all.
Wow. Yeah, and of course, you living in beautiful Rome, Italy. I've never been outside New Brunswick, so I get it. I think Rome, and I think Roman Holiday, that movie with Audrey Hepburn. Now, what's it like in Rome right now? You got gorgeous weather there and gorgeous scenery, I bet.
It's a marvelous sunny day, blue sky. The city is beautiful with the light of Rome, which is a doré light, And it's Saturday, so it's quite calm. There are a lot of tourists because, of course, the spring is blooming and people is coming in. And so you have a long line in front of the Colosseum. And I live just nearby the Colosseum. But it's a fantastic day today, actually. Yes.
Yeah, you're 5 hours ahead of me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, no, you're my first call to Rome, and I know people that are from Italy that live here. We right now got a lot of snow here in Canada.
Wow. Still?
Yeah, we do. We got a nice, beautiful blue sky out there right now, but hopefully come April, things will start to clear off a little bit. But have you ever traveled out this way? I'm from the New Brunswick, little small maritime provinces in Canada. So have you ever been this way?
Yeah, I was in Canada, but in Montreal. I was
Okay.
shooting a movie, a French movie, and I was shooting. I had the role as a Red Brigade young criminal, and so I had a lot of fun because I remember one scene I had to run, and there was the snow. So I was falling into the snow with my gun. It was very funny, though. I remember it was very cold.
Oh, yeah. Yep, you're right. Well, you know what? I was going to say, for the past 2 years, I have been trying very hard to get Jessica Harper on here, and I know she's going to come on. We just our schedules just haven't meshed up yet. I've always loved Jessica Harper, been a big fan. She of course was in Phantom of the Paradise before Suspiria, and here she got the lead in Suspiria, and of course she played Susie. What was she like? Yeah, what was she like to work with?
Oh, she's a fantastic woman. She's very, very generous, very nice. We became very good friends. Actually, when I was in the United States, we ran into each other for a couple of times. And then, this kind of work, then we lost track. But sometimes I follow her in Facebook. But she is really an incredible lady.
Yeah.
very intelligent, very cultivated, very sensitive, and very friendly.
Yeah. I've been trying for 2 years to get her on here, and I have made contact. I know back in December we've had this go on. She'd tell me to reach out to her at such a time, and I'd reach out, and then something would be up in her schedule. But I'd made a couple donations to a cause that she's involved in called PXE. And
Hmm.
yeah, I guess they notified her because I did it in her honor, and then she connected with me, and I thought that was really cool. And she had last time, I guess she's got a cameo or a small part in the remake of Suspiria, and she said that she was in Italy filming in December, and she asked me to reach out in January, and I haven't heard back, but I do believe we will eventually connect. It's just, I just need. I'm just exercising some patience, but I know when I get her on,
Exactly.
it's a filmmaking world, so you never know where you're going to be from one day to the next. But I'm looking forward to having her on here, and I told her, I said, "Gee, 2017 would be perfect because it's the 40th anniversary for Suspiria." So I told her,
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah, I like Jessica a lot. I think she's got a very down to earth nature to her, and I got her Krabby cookbook at home too, when I've actually followed some of this. Yeah, so I've got lots of stuff to talk to her about, but yeah, I'll be involved in the remake now. You're not involved with the remake in any way, are
No,
you?
no, not at all. Not at all. Actually, I wasn't even in Italy at that time. I was in Sri Lanka.
I'll be frank, and I hate to judge anybody's film because there's some remakes I did like. I did like the 1978 Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and I did like the American remake of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, although the original's also great. But I'm kind of with Dario Argento in the fact that I think they should have just left Suspiria alone.
Yeah, the fact that Suspiria, that's why I think the success of Suspiria. Suspiria arrived in a moment, was a new language. So with this flamboyant color, because Tovoli, which was the DOP, and Dario, they tried to make this flamboyant color like the movie that used to be made on the 50s with the first Kodacolor, film, and the music also, the goblins. It
Oh,
was a kind of an opera. I remember the opening in Paris, in this big Max cinema, and the public was in really delirium. And the idea is really that was something something more than just a movie. You know what I mean?
yeah. Oh,
So doing a remake, okay, is a movie. It's not that phenomenon.
no, you mentioned Goblin. I gotta tell you, what a great, creepy music score they brought to the film.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I had that whisper sound, and it just fit the movie. And I don't know, like I can try to keep an open mind about the remake, but I gotta say, I think if they want to remake movies, they should remake the bad films and try to improve them instead of taking. Suspiria doesn't need to be touched.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
Suspiria is unicum.
yeah. What was it like working with Dario Argento?
Ah, it was a pleasure because Dario loves actors. So when a director loves the actors, acting is a pleasure because you see that behind the camera there is somebody that is, I mean, is having everything, so all the emotion you prove is going to enjoy for. And it's funny though to see Dario when he's behind the camera. He really suffers with the actors. He really makes faces. He's so inside of the feeling that he produces because he's someone that when he says action, something magic happens, and there is an incredible feeling, and it's beautiful to act when you know that your director loves you.
Yeah. Have you seen any of his previous films prior to Suspiria, like Deep Red or Bird with a Crystal?
Yes, yes, I see L'uccello della piume di cristallo. I don't know what is the English title. The one in Rome, where you show a strange Rome. Um, it was a thriller, and then Profondo Rosso, of course.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, Argento has a magical style on how he shoots things and the detail that he devotes to, especially like the death scenes in movies. He does death scenes in a way that are kind of they're not over the top. There's something that you can kind of see happening in reality, and it kind of gives him a more grittier, grisly edge.
yeah.
Yeah. And of course, you had some other great talent in that movie. Miss Tanner, of course, played by Alida Valli. Did I get her name right?
Alida Valli, yes.
Okay, okay.
She was so lovely, she was an incredible big star when she was young. She was so beautiful. And while we were shooting together, she was so sweet, so nice, so humble. I mean, I have an incredible souvenir of her.
Yeah. Yeah, she was quite a dominating presence, and of course, you guys, when of course the insects or the what is it the lice and the worms come through the ceiling and they're all
I
landing.
remember. Wow.
Oh boy, that's kind of
Yeah.
that's kind of gross. Poor Jessica Harper's combing her hair, and all of a sudden you could see these things like squirming in
Yeah.
there. And then you guys
I
end
remember.
up having your nice little slumber party.
Yeah, exactly. No,
except
it's a
except something's moving beyond the curtain.
no, but it was very funny because when the gentleman who was in charge to bring the worm on the set,
Yeah.
so we had to shoot the scene quite quickly because it was so hot that the worm becomes a fly.
Yeah.
So they were turning to another creature because of the heat. So we had to shoot very quickly, and it was so disgusting to see these thousand of worms. It was really, and the noise is the noise of the food, the feet when they scratch the worms. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't even remember. I can't go back. It's so terrible. Brr.
Yeah. Yep. And of course, another standout role in the movie. I'm hoping I get these names right. Flavio Busci as the blind
Flavio Bucci, yes,
uh,
Flavio Bucci, the blind
pianist.
piano. Yes, Flavio is an incredible, fantastic theater actor, an amazing one, really.
And boy, his demise was pretty pretty brutal, but very suspenseful, especially with the music going in the background. It's just deafening. You can just hear your heartbeat, especially when the
Yeah,
camera pans over top of him like something's flying over him.
yeah. This is an incredible scene. I remember we were in Munich. I was there because we shoot on the swimming pool with Jessica. So that night I was there roaming around the set, and Dario was talking with the gripper and I mean the technician, and he said, "No, no, no, no! I want something incredible. I want I would like to have the effect like a bird coming down, like a bath." So they figured out how to suspend the camera from one point to another, and and then slide them down and make this movement. And this is very peculiar because I truly believe that Dario has this power of imagination and is very visionary. So he asked the technician to invent the way to make this shot. Now you have the drones. Now you have different technique, technology. But at the time, was really mechanic. And he was visionary, and he's such a man that when he's on the set, all the crew loves him. So they do everything he wants because they understand that they're going to do something new, something spectacular. So there is the team. The team is really working to make him achieve what is the shot that he imagined.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that scene definitely worked, and of course, his CNI dog, of course, jumps up and takes him right by the throat. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. No, that was a beautifully shot scene. Of course, then of course you had Joan Bennett, of course, as Madame Blanc.
Yeah, she was really Madame.
Oh, Madame. Okay. Yeah, you could tell I'm Canadian, so I'm getting all this wrong. But it is great to talk to somebody from Rome, though, because we got somebody from the New Brunswick Film Co-op here who's from Italy, so they've traveled over there. This couple do the film society here, but I could just imagine how beautiful it is in Rome.
Yeah, it's a fantastic day. Then the light is amazing.
Yeah.
That's really make a special Rome, because Rome is basically all orange and yellow. So all the walls, they have this kind of color, golden color. So the light is special here.
Yeah. I got to pay all tribute because I know there's a lot of gore effects in Dario Argento movies, whether it be Deep Red, whether it's Suspiria, or whether it be Tenebrae. He does do some bloody gore effects, but I got to say, that opening scene in Suspiria, I'm going to tell you, like, again, you got to credit Goblin for some great music going back and forth in there too. It's just deafening when the two girls meet their end there at the beginning. I mean, what a way to open the film.
Yeah, it's incredible. Mm-hmm.
But even like little things like Jessica Harper at the airport, and you hear the swishing of the doors up close, and you hear the rain, and they're in the cab, and you see the woman running in the rain in the forest, and I love the tension and the mood. It's very unsettling, and I love that. And of course the nice pastel colors he uses as well. Very great, beautiful, bright use of color in Argento movies.
Yes, and it really has a lot of attention. It makes a lot of attention on the sound. Yep. Because actually the sound is what really help to give emotion to the audience. So the sound design is very accurate and mixed in Dario Argento movies, and he's completely right, because the sounds really move the emotion, the internal emotion of the audience.
Yeah. Now the day you had your death scene, of course, when you get to that door, and this hand goes across your mouth, and this razor blade goes across your throat. What was that like in the makeup chair for that scene?
Well, I was on my throat, as you can imagine. I think it was a fish, if I remember well. Then again, there was a kind of research on the set to find out. There was the gentleman who does the special effect, live. They were trying different texture of meat, like chicken meat, whatever, to have this effect. And if I remember well, at the end was a fish, to get this cut on the white meat, which is my throat, actually. But it's very interesting, because when you are not on the scene, you're just roaming around on the set, and if you are curious, like I was and I am all the time, it's very interesting, especially at that time, because at that time everything was made live. So now you have a color correction, you have a special effect, you can do everything you want in the computer. At that time, no. At that time, you have to figure it out how to make it, live, mechanically. So there was a lot of research on special effect to find the right material, the right texture, to make it believe is real.
Yeah. And of course, I won't give away the ending, but I tell you, what a rousing climax, a beautiful, just even, going through those corridors and the lighting, and of course that look of relief on Jessica Harper's face in that certain moment,
Yeah. And also it's very interesting, the set design, because they choose the Liberty style, which is already something, how could I say, I don't really know the English word for that. Liberty style is very mysterious. It has this kind of aesthetic, which is quite of a cold aesthetic. So the choice of the set designer, which he was a fantastic set designer.
Yes, absolutely.
It's very interesting. They were once again, they were really looking through Escher, to understand what kind of atmosphere aesthetically this dancer house has to have. And the choice was really incredible. And one other incredible thing is the scene where, because of the worms, we all have to sleep together in this big dormitory, improvised dormitory, where you see all these girls in white. It's like a virgin, it's like a celebration of a sacrifice. And you have behind the curtain this deep breath of the witch. Like,
yep.
Yep. And this is incredible. This really makes you scary.
Talk about things that go bump in the night.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, not a whole lot of males in the movie. I know they had that creepy little kid that was...
Oh, he was terrible.
Yeah, that's standing there with the cook, I think. Yeah, the cook, I think it was. And they moved that silverware or something that flashed, and poor Jessica had a reaction. One male that was in the movie, Andu Kyer, who was also worked with you in Blood of Dracula.
Exactly, Udo. Yes, it's very, very nice. He's such a sweet man. He's very good. He's a very good actor, actually. And I remember him in Dracula. He was so great. Really, he made Dracula so human, and you really like Dracula in that movie. He's a poor guy, so alone. And here, yes, he was. He has this role which was very interesting to give a sort of explanation of the phenomenon.
Yeah, I've seen Suspiria, but a lot of these other films I have not seen. But because of Netflix and the nature of our society today, I want to touch upon some of your other films to give people something to whet their appetite. Of course, Blood of Dracula. While we're talking about that, tell us about your experience in that film.
Oh, well, Blood of Dracula was shot in Italy because Paul Morrissey, Andy Warhol, Jed Johnson, a part of the factory, they came down here in Rome and they rent a big villa on the Appia Antica. And they made a deal with Carlo Ponti to make two films. In the beginning, it's supposed to be two 3D films.
Okay.
One was Frankenstein and the other was Dracula. They did Frankenstein, and as soon as they finished Frankenstein, it was supposed to start Dracula, which happened. Paul Morrissey has to choose some Italian leading actresses because, of course, it was a co-production. So, and I wanted to do this movie, but I didn't know a word of English. The language I've been studying is French.
Okay.
So I met Paul, and he said to me, "Oh, you would be perfect for Rubia, but I don't have a script. Basically, I write day by day, and sometimes I use improvisation. So if you will be able, in a month, to speak English and able to improvise, I would love to give you the role." So I went back home, and immediately I submit for an English school, and I was studying 12 hours a day with a personal professor. So by the end of a month, I was able to speak English, and I made some improvisation and so on. So it's a movie that really enriched me in many sense.
Okay. Yeah. And of course, was your first film A Pocket Full of Chestnuts?
I don't get your question. First film?
Yeah, your first film was A Pocket Full of Chestnuts.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Le castagne sono buone. Ah, okay, that's right. I was very young at that time. I was doing theater, and Pietro Germi, which at the time was one of the biggest director in Italy, they made many tests to find that young lady that has to be in a certain way very energetic, but also very pure, very naive, very. So I was in Milano, and I took a train. I went down to Rome. I did a test, and then I left the day immediately because I was playing in theater. So at the night I have to be there and do the show. And after a week, I received a telegram say, "Please do not to cut your hair. You got the part." So that's why I started my career as an actress. And it was very, very easy for me to this sense. That's what I was telling you before. I've been very lucky.
Yeah. So what was it like doing that first film, that Pocket Full of Chestnuts? You were the lead actress in that film.
Yes, I was the lead actress, and the boy, I mean, the partner, he's not dead, he's still alive, and is still a great, great pop singer, Gianni Morandi, which is one of the biggest pop singers in Italy. And so it was very, very funny because he couldn't move because he has like thousands of young girls, the fans following all the time. And, I was just, I was laughing all the time because we couldn't do a scene because of the crowd of this younger girl. But I have to tell you, this was a scene where Pietro Germi really helped me a lot because I was new on the set, so, and I didn't know anybody in Rome. So he decided that I could stay in the house. In the film, it was my house. So I didn't have an apartment in Rome. So he said, okay, why don't you live a month while we are shooting in this small villa that we rented for the film? I said, well, yes, why not? So I go to sleep with the camera, standing in front of my bed because it was the scene. So I was sleeping in the set, and I was woken up in the morning by the technician. So it was really like a fairy tale for me. It was a fantastic experience.
And of course, the same year you did Blood of Dracula, you did a little film called Emergency Squad as well.
Oh, that's right. Very funny. Because this is a little movie, but the actors were big, incredible actors. Gastone Moschini was one of the most incredible theater actors we had. Thomas Milliam, I guess, he was in. And it was very funny. I enjoyed very much. And I remember I have a wig, blonde like Marilyn, and I was singing $1 or something like this. I really enjoy to do gangster movie. It's funny.
Yeah, and of course, you got to work with Robert De Niro and Gerard Depardieu. I hope I said in 1900. Well, I think that was 1976, and that would have been the same year De Niro did Taxi Driver. So what was that
No, just
experience like?
after. Just after.
Oh, just after. Okay.
Yeah. Bertolucci was in New York choosing the actor, and he was. He had some ideas, and then he met De Niro, and then he decided casted him. He saw him in Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Well, it was very, De Niro was very young.
Yeah.
And he was in a country that he didn't know at all. So he was very kind of a reserved person, like a shy. He wasn't really too much, in French we says, à son aise. It was really comfortable in the beginning with all this bunch of Italians screaming, laughing, drinking. And Depardieu is French, and he was immediately comfortable because it was a kind of guy, like make noise and drink and dance, and so he really enjoyed a lot. And Bob De Niro, he was very shy, very concentrated on his role, like all the American actors. He was really so. It was a big challenge for him. So he has this little cahier, black, little black book, like a notebook.
Yep.
And he was writing everything, how he played the scene, how he played before, how he should play after. Was very, very much concentrated. While we were all young people, we want to make fun, so we were the opposites. But Bertolucci is incredible. Working with him is another magic experience, because he is a great, great, great director. It is, again, one of these directors that loves his actors. And when there is this magic things, you can feel it in the movie.
Yeah. I haven't seen this movie, but I saw some pictures of it prior to doing this interview, and I guess I saw a shot of you and De Niro and Gerard in bed together, and you were all nude. Now was that a little nerve-wracking to do a nude scene?
No. If you see the movie, you understand that it's a very, very touching scene, because I play a role of a young peasant who prostitutes herself because of hunger.
Okay.
So, and the two guys, Depardieu play the son of a peasant, and De Niro is the son of the rich man, the owner of the factory, of the farm.
Okay.
So they're young, and they decided to do this experience to go with a whore, which is me. But this is like a poor lady, and De Niro forced me to drink some alcohol, and I get an epileptic crisis because I wasn't supposed to drink. I'm epileptic. So I start this scene, which is a jerking off scene, and all of a sudden I get this crisis. So I start to get this epileptic crisis, and I'm sick and sick, and there is, is very, 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 um, it's something very touching. And while De Niro get up immediately and try to run away, dressed up and runs to run away because he's afraid to be caught in this situation, in the other hand, Depardieu, which is the son of the peasant, he understands he must help me. So he stay there and call for my mother, and so it's a very important scene for the film,
Okay.
because it's one of these turning point where you see how the character behave. And my scene, when we see the picture, it seems quite of a very erotic thing, which is not. It's a very dramatic one. But it's one of the scenes that the censorship one eliminated.
Yeah.
And Bernardo said, no, I don't want to eliminate this scene because it's a very important turning point, and he's explain why it is. And definitely, it has not been censored.
Yeah, you also did Andy Warhol's Bad.
Exactly.
What was that experience like?
That was great. I went to New York for that film, and I loved definitely. And I already knew Andy Warhol because I met him in the previous film, so it was a kind of familiar to the factory. But then stay in New York and work in New York, and New York at that time was so exciting. That's why I decided to stay there, and I lived there for 4 years. And it was so interesting. And Judd Johnson, the director, was a very nice guy. Well, we were friends, And once again, I was working, but had a lot of fun as well. So, and I discovered New York, and I discovered the art, and I discovered the graffiti guys, and I became a friend of Basquiat, of some other, people. They were a kind of a bunch in New York at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting kind of film, and of course you also did Bloodstained Shadow as well.
Bloodstained Shadow, I don't know what it is in Italian. Mm.
Well,
I don't know the title.
ah,
Bloodstained Shadow.
Bloodstained Shadow.
Oh, I don't see the Italian title.
Ah, well, it was
What's
one
the
I.
story about?
You know what? I don't have it right in front of me. Just give me a half a second here, and I will bring that up. I will do that.
Okay. Thanks to Vicky.
Yeah, well,
Wikipedia.
yeah, Wikipedia. That's right. I'll
Bloodstained Shadow.
Bloodstained Shadow. Yeah.
The Hombre. Boh.
Okay, we'll bring that right up. Bloodstained Shadow. You did it in 1978. You played Sandra Silani,
Sandra Seleni.
and it was for Antonia Bido.
Ah, it was called the Nero.
Okay.
No, solamente nero. Oh, yes, 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 in Venice. Ah, very funny film. I mean, funny is a thriller,
Yeah.
but it was very funny to shoot it. Yes, it was beautiful. Ah, we were in Venice just in November. In a fantastic mood with the foggy day all the time. Venice with no tourists. It was really magic. I remember, very magic moment. Venice is, if you see in spring and summer, of course, it's beautiful because it's unique. But to really get this kind of atmosphere of is, what is the magic in Venice, you have to be in Venice in November. And especially at that time, like 20, 25 years ago or 30, I don't even remember, there weren't so many tourists. So you really could imagine that you are in 1700 and every corner you turn with this fog, you could be, I don't know, a shadow ready to catch you. It's Venice is really magic at that moment. And when we shoot the movie, I mean, we really enjoyed because it was 1 month in Venice with this kind of beautiful atmosphere and very nice friends. I remember Nino Capolicchio. It's a great actor.
Yeah.
So we really enjoy. I saw Antonio Bido lately. He's thinking of doing another movie, and he asked me if I want to do it. I said, well, why not? But you have to find a role for me now. I'm aging, so.
Yeah, I noticed here too. You worked with Jared Depardieu again in Bye Bye Monkey.
Yeah, Bye Bye Monkey with Ferreri.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. It's a small part because we are Ferreri want some actresses, Mimi, MC Farmer, etc. We were all feminists at that time, so he wants some real feminists, and we had to write our lines and to make sense of what we're saying in a very feminist way. That was funny. We enjoyed.
And of course, How to Lose a Wife and Find a Lover.
That was really, really funny.
Yeah.
Really.
Wow, you're quite a staple in the Italian filmmaking world, and a lot of great stuff comes out of there, as well as some great food as well.
Exactly.
A lot of great food coming from there. I gotta say, when was it you said that you wanted this to air? Sometime in May?
Yes. There is a Suspiria reunion in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
Which is supposed to be a gigantic Suspiria reunion. Dario Argento will fly with me down there. And Udo Kier as well. I don't think that Jessica would be there because she's somewhere else. And it will be in May, I think is the 6th, 7th, 8th of May. It's a weekend. It's that weekend. Now I don't have here my schedule. It's May. Yes, 5, 6, and 7.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind, and I'll keep in touch with you about that so that we can get this out there and further promote that event when it happens. Yeah. So, you mind?
Come down.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll keep in touch with you on that on Facebook. Do you mind if I add you on Facebook?
No, it's okay.
Okay, sure. I'll send you a friend's request. I was really happy we made this connection. You're my third Skype interview, so I thank you for your patience and me trying to get hold of you this morning. I probably should have tried to connect the Skype thing earlier, but I'm kind of new at it. But I'm glad you found me. I did find you. So I was wondering.
It's okay. We managed how to do it.
We managed to do it. Yes, yes, and we're celebrating, of course, the 40th anniversary of Suspiria, and I was happy to, even though I haven't seen these films, I was happy to plug some of your other movies and stuff like Blood of Dracula and Andy Warhol's Bad. Kind of interested to see those. They sound quite enticing. So, but it's nice to talk about some of your other movies as well. So I was happy to go down those memories with you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So I say hello.
I was wondering if before you go, if you mind doing a plug for my show.
What is a plug?
You just state your name, and you say you've been listening to, and my name is Greg Gilbert, and my show is called Python's Paradise, like Python, like the snake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Stefania Casini. I'm very happy to be in Python Paradise. Thank you, Greg. You are wonderful.
Oh, thank you very much. And maybe, I might even let, when I send this out, I might even send it to Jessica, give her a little prodding.
Okay.
I look forward to having her on here. We got to get those connections, but I know she'll do it. It's just.
She'll do it, don't worry.
Yeah.
Just to have she's quite busy woman.
She is a very busy woman. And I've been a fan of hers for some 30 years, so I'm looking forward to having her on and promoting a lot of stuff, and is happy to be talking to you today as well. I mean, thank you so much for bringing your style and your grace and your personality, and of course, visions of Rome and Italy. Here to the cold outskirts of New Brunswick, Canada.
Okay, so I leave you now because I want to take a walk in a beautiful city with a beautiful light in the marvelous afternoon.
We will do that. God bless you. You have yourself a great day.
Thank you. Have a nice day too. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao. Ciao,
Ciao.
ciao.